Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. So, since we have done 55 out of the 62 characters and have only 7 remaining, I'm just going to do the last 7 in order so you don't have to watch me roll over and over again. Next up, we've got the one-arm. Also, if you haven't watched my last video with the king, definitely check that one out. We rolled a ridiculous weapon and the run ended up quite nonsensical, so check out that run because it was super fun. The one-armed is definitely one of the harder characters in the game, especially when you can't change your weapon, because often the goal with this character is to do something like build up a lot of damage with Ghost Axe and then change to a high-level weapon like a nuke launcher or something later down the line. And there's a couple weapons here that are really difficult if we roll them. Not as many as there used to be, because one-armed used to have some auto losses like wand or pistol available to it, but they've actually removed those from the possible starting weapons. So let's roll and see what we get, and we'll try to plan accordingly. Javelin, I would say, is a pretty good weapon on the whole for this character. It's got AoE damage because it has piercing, and it's just a really strong weapon overall. One downside, of course, is that one of the things that makes this weapon so good is its really great synergy tags. It's a precise and primitive weapon, and those are two of the best tags in the game. And of course, one-armed can't make use of those. Since you only get one weapon, you can't have synergy tags at all. Let's roll here, and we will roll again. I'm looking for harvesting. We can roll pretty aggressively for early stats, because we can't upgrade our weapons anyways, so just getting early stats can be very helpful. But having rolled 3 times, I'm just going to take 4 melee damage. Of course, our melee damage output is, melee damage modifiers are doubled, so picking up that melee damage early is very good. Roll here and we'll buy a Javelin, and then I'll do one more reroll to see if we can find a good economy item, and we did. We'll lock a Gentle Alien. This is a little dangerous for this character, but one thing we also have going for us is no horde waves, so we don't have to worry as much about increasing the number of enemies on the field. The thing that the one-arm struggles the most with is killing multiple enemies, because you just get fewer attacks than other characters. The one-arm's actually pretty deceptive in that way, because it has triple attack speed. You get plus 200% attack speed. You might think you're making a lot of attacks, should buy a lot of lifesteal, weapons with multi-hits are good, but you only have 1/6 as many weapons. So even with triple attack speed, you make half as many attacks as a normal character. And of course, you also can't benefit from attack speed the way a normal character would. You get 1/6 the value by buying attack speed. So you're much, much worse at making attacks than other characters are. I'm going to roll here, and I'm still looking for harvesting. Finally found some, because I need to get my economy online early. We'll take the Gentle Alien. Cute Monkey I'll lock as well. This is good healing, and Javelin scales with melee damage, despite being a ranged weapon. So the Cute Monkey can be very good and has no downsides for us. I'm actually not going to buy Terrified Onion, because I do want to increase my luck on this character, for a variety of reasons. The other way that the one-armed can be deceptive, I'll come back to the luck thing in a second. The other way the one-armed can be deceptive is that you might think, okay, we attack 3 times as fast, we have double damage modifiers, that's 2 times 3 equals 6. So that's the same as having 6 weapons, but you're missing a lot of the advantages that having 6 weapons gives you. Firstly, you are, oh, is there any chance we could kill this thing? No. Okay, I needed to manually attack that. And then I'd have killed the loot alien. Bad play there. I should have been paying more attention. I'm going to reroll this. With Javelin, you don't really need to buy crit chance because you get the automatic crits. So I'm just looking for harvesting, but I'll take 2 armor because armor is really important. But anyway, so you might think that we've got double damage modifiers and triple attack speed. That's the same as 6 weapons, but you're missing a couple things that 6 weapons give you. Firstly, the base damage of all of those weapons you don't get. So a character with 6 level 1 javelins has 40 extra base damage just from the 8 damage of each of those 5 extra javelins, so you get more damage overall. Secondly, making half as many attacks, even if those attacks are twice as strong, which they aren't because you're missing the base damage, is still worse because you can only attack in one direction at a time. And you can't benefit from things like lifesteal, you can't buy attack speed as effectively, so the one-armed is very far behind other characters in terms of its base stats. It's a little deceptive in that way, but It's much worse than a character that just had no abilities at all. You have to play around the strengths that it does have to make up for that. And the strength that it does have is it's one of the best characters in the game at using non-weapon sources of damage. Because we get double damage modifiers, so our percent damage is going to be really, really high. We can buy high percent damage and things like luck, and this is where the thing I was talking about earlier with luck comes in, and then use items like Baby Elephant and Cyberball better than just about any other character in the game. Tyler is great. We are going to struggle with wave clear, and this gives us a lot of early wave clear, so this is a really lucky early find. Definitely worth spending 27 on. This is our level 5 upgrade, so I'm going to roll for harvesting here, because getting to 21 harvesting early is really important. We'll take the defective steroids. Do I want Alien Worm? We currently have no consumable healing, and that's a lot of lost healing, but I do want max HP and regen. I think I'm going to pass on it, though. Just losing that much healing is too bad. Corrupted Shard is awesome. I'm going to take the Peaceful Bee, even at the cost of 2 melee damage. We'll build up this melee damage much faster anyways, and I want early harvesting. That also means we'll grow 2 harvesting instead of 1 next wave, which isn't nothing. And then we can potentially build dodge as well. Take defective steroids also. And do I do a reroll here? I'll do one more reroll. I'm ignoring the feather because while I do want dodge, the most important thing is getting damage to the point where we can just kill the elite as quickly as possible. I'd say Javelin is probably the second best weapon we could have rolled for the one-armed tier. Which, you know, I'll take. I was due some luck after last video with the king. The best is probably Ghost Axe still. Even though you can't switch to an AoE weapon, you just get so much value out of the doubled bonus damage with Ghost Axe on the one-armed. Shredder wouldn't be bad either, although I personally really dislike that weapon. And Lightning Shiv would be good too. Here, I'm just going to take 4 melee damage because just boosting the damage of our weapon is so important. And I'm going to reroll this. All of these are stats that I want, but I feel like we can get a level 2 or higher upgrade. And we did. We got, in fact, a level 3 upgrade, which is awesome. Even at the cost of 4 melee damage, Lucky Charm is still too good to pass, so we're going to grab that. We'll lock the Hedgehog here, and then I will roll. And level 2 Javelin we can't use. The other disadvantage that the one-armed has is it's much harder to level up your weapons because you can't stockpile level 1 weapons to combine into higher level weapons and upgrade that way. You can only upgrade by finding a weapon of equal to or higher level than your current weapon. We actually got pretty lucky in this one by finding that level 2 Javelin to get a level 3 pretty early. A lot of times with the one-armed, you're going to end up not finding a higher level weapon for a really long time and be stuck on level 2 until like wave 10. If you're just looking for the optimal strategy, by the way, to beat one-armed, start with a Ghost Axe, and then after you've built up some percent damage, swap to another weapon at some point. Just anything with AoE. I should have run towards that Loot Alien right away. I could have definitely killed it. We did get 2 crates. Maybe I killed it and just didn't see, but I think we just got 2 lucky crates and missed on killing the Loot Alien. Could have got a 3rd one. I got greedy and tried to kill like a tree and stuff and should have just run straight towards that guy. Even at the cost of 4% damage, and even though we have a ton of attack speed, and attack speed is a lot worse for this character, Coffee is too efficient to pass, so we're going to take it. And I will take 1 more harvesting upgrade here, and then we're going to stop buying economy items and focus purely on damage and survivability. We will take the Ritual, Injection, and Hedgehog, and roll. Community support, I'm going to pass on. I really don't want to lose armor. But I'll take the Injection here. I'm going to pass on the Bat. We don't really need Lifesteal. Like I talked about, it's much worse for this character because you make half as many attacks as a normal character does. Injection's still worth it for plus 14% damage, though. At this point, we're kind of looking for the best possible item we could find would be Rip and Tear. Rip and Tear is so good for the one-armed, and we're already building melee damage, so it's even better for this character, because it gives you just a bunch of non-weapon damage, and that is, as I said, the strength of the one-armed is we're really good at using sources of damage that don't come from our weapon attacks, because our weapon attacks are bad, but our damage modifiers are very good. I'd love some baby geckos as well. We're kind of leaving materials everywhere, and it's hard to pick them all up. Doing a quick pass by the Tyler there to get at least some material pickups this wave. 250 on wave 7 is pretty good. I'll take a pocket factory for sure. Although I've lost a little bit of engineering, this is another way that we can clear enemies that doesn't involve hitting them with our weapon attacks, so it's very good for us. I'll roll here, and I'll take 6 max HP. My max HP is pretty low. And this is actually a really interesting spot. So I could start building dodge. I have no healing right now, so I could start building regeneration, or I could just take 24% damage, because that's a lot of damage. I think I need to build healing, though, so I'm going to take that. We'll take the injection, and then roll. Broken Mouth I will pick up as well. That actually gets me to a reasonable HP total. And the Scarf is really good. Move speed, melee damage, and HP regen are great. So as long as I don't die because the enemies are faster this next wave, then the Scarf will be excellent. Wave 8 on the Abyss also is not like the hardest wave. It's got the anglerfish, which are pretty dangerous, but in general, it's not the one that's going to get you, so I feel pretty safe making Wave 8 a little bit harder. Wave 7 and 9 are much harder, because Wave 7 has the healers, so if you are a low damage setup, then you can just get overwhelmed. And Wave 9 just has a lot of enemies on it, so you can get into a lot of trouble on Wave 9. And Wave 9 and 10 are what I'm really worried about for this build as well, because we don't have that much wave clear, so if we don't find other ways to kill lots of enemies, then we could get in trouble. Luckily, Javelin is pretty good for a weapon for AoE wave clear, so especially for a ranged weapon. Not much income that wave, though, unfortunately. 260. You really want to make about 300 on wave 8. I'll take the whistle here, and I could just take 10 more luck. I think that's fine. We're just going to take 10 luck here. The mastery is excellent, of course. We definitely want that. We'll take the treasure map and mastery. And then I'm going to roll here. I'll take another cute monkey. I don't care about reducing my range damage at all, and more healing is good. Metal plate, even at the cost of 6% damage, is still too efficient to pass. And then I'm going to roll here. I'll take a broken mouth. Plastic explosive is kind of interesting as well. So this is a weapon, an item that works really well if we find explosions. And those are something that we're really looking for. If we find spicy sauce, if we find rip and tear, even just some landmines, we would definitely take them. So the plastic explosive is good there. That said, I don't think we can afford to spend more than 100 materials on something that does literal nothing right now. So although it would be good if we find those specific items, we really just have to focus on making our character's core gameplay loop stronger. And so we just can't spend money on something that doesn't do anything at the moment. Starting to see where we can run into trouble when there's just a lot of enemies on the field, because although we do have piercing shots, we don't have... It's not a melee weapon that pierces everything. We have limited piercing with the Javelin. I'd love to pick up those materials before the end of the wave. I'm going to go kill this tree there. So I'll probably just run in and take some hits. With a couple seconds remaining just to grab all these materials that are on the ground. We actually made very good income for wave 9. We'll take the broken mouth here. I'll take 15 more luck. And then, do I want max HP or melee damage? I think I need damage, because if I don't get enough damage to kill the elite by wave 12, we're in a lot of trouble. Take the metal plate. I'll take the broken mouth. Campfire is regeneration. Elemental damage isn't totally useless either, because we could... find a scared sausage or something like that. It also does benefit our Tyler, which is not terrible. So I think I will take the campfire just because regen is really nice. And then here, we did get the scared sausage. In fact, I'm going to buy this entire shop. I'll start with the incendiary turret and the scared sausage. And I guess the coffee will be better for wave clear than the steroids. So I'll take that. I'll do one reroll for 12 with 3 slots open. That's probably fine. We'll do that. I'm actually going to take the handcuffs as well. Now that I have Scared Sausage, the melee damage and elemental damage are both good. And capping my HP at 44, obviously, or 46 after the steroids, maybe 47 after a level next wave, is a little on the low side, but not something that I'm that worried about. I'd much rather build dodge, armor, and regeneration than max HP for this character, because it's almost impossible for us not to take hits. So we just have to be able to regenerate after we take those hits. So max HP is much less important to this character. Also, the Scared Sausage plays really well with our Pocket Factory, because it's just going to apply the fire across the map. Had tried to pull back from... I killed that blobfish, and then I ran back across the map. That way I lined up all of the lampreys into a line so that our Javelin would hit all of them at once, and we got to fight them all at the same time instead of having to pick them apart piecemeal. So, made it a lot easier. I would take a snake at this point as well. That would be pretty nice. There's a lot of items that would be pretty strong for us. I'm just going to take 3 armor here, though. Just more safety. And then, yeah, I'll take the coupon and then the defective steroids, and then we'll buy handcuffs and laser turret, and we'll reroll here. Silver bullet is amazing for the one-armed because it will get doubled, so we'll get plus 50% damage against bosses. I'm pretty sure this gets multiplied because it has the word damage in it. Piercing damage, explosion damage, that all gets multiplied. I'm like 90% sure Silver Bullet does, but we'll check next wave. Do I want the tractor? I think not, because I'm going to go into the elite wave, and basically that's our test, is can we survive wave 12? So we're actually not going to lock the tractor. I will reroll here, and baby elephant I'll definitely buy. That's great for wave clear. Little muscly dude we'll take just for 6 melee damage. Is that right? 104 for 6 melee damage? Because of course we can't use the max HP since we capped it. I think that's still good enough to buy. We just need all the damage we can get going into the elite wave, because we need to kill it before we're under any pressure. We don't have the healing or defensive stats to tank hits from the elite, as well as stay alive against the rest of the wave. Wave 12 also a pretty tough wave for us. There's a lot of things on the field. So we're going to need to kill the elite super, super fast. Javelin is a weapon that lets you do that. If we had rolled a different weapon, then we'd have to have a different strategy, because we would not be able to plan on killing the elites. Or if we'd rolled a horde as our first wave, then we'd have had to build much more defensively, because for the one-armed, hordes are your main challenge. So I will say we got kind of lucky on our rolls for this run with a boss wave pattern that's only elite and no hordes, and of course a super powerful weapon. Still leaving a lot of materials on the ground. Bait, I'm not going to take. I do want the percent damage, of course, but I don't think we can afford to fight the lampreys and the elite at the same time. So I'm going to be a bit of a weenie there. And then I think I'm going to roll for more damage rather than more attack speed. I'd like percent damage, because that's what we're missing, but I'll just take 6 melee damage as well. We'll take the silver bullet. So let me check. Does this give us, yeah, 50% damage against bosses, so that's huge. Take the muscly dude. Losing elemental damage is definitely real, but I'm going to take the Lost Duck anyways. It's just more healing, potentially. Take another Tyler, Cursed Little Frog, and Sunken Bell is a good way to protect ourselves if we start getting overwhelmed by a lot of enemies. This would be a reason to have the explosion size, I guess. But pretty good. I need to find the elite and then manually target it pretty much immediately. In order to make sure we're killing it as fast as possible. And there we go. Got it. Got the full heal as soon as it died. So great find on the silver bullet. And of course, just having Javelin is super helpful as well. So some percent damage would be excellent. Any source of non-weapon damage, again, things like Alien Eyes, Cyber Balls, Baby Elephant. Especially now that we have one, we can really start building around those. A leveled up spear or javelin would be great, or a cursed javelin would be even better. If you get the level 4 cursed javelin, then it gets automatic criticals on every attack. So that would be an awesome find if we could get that. I'm not going to rely on that, though, of course. Honestly, Javelin just feels like a really good weapon for the one-armed in general. I think you could get an easy win with this weapon most of the time. Estes Couch, we actually could be an Estes Couch build. We could get a lot of regeneration, so we would end up with plus... how much regen? That's plus 36 regen. If I bought Estes Couch. I still don't think it's right, though, because I need to be able to chase down and kill the elites really fast, but this is actually close to being an Estes Couch build. Take the Hedgehog here. Frozen Heart, we care about elemental damage. The crit chance isn't that important, but just more damage is good. And then we'll take the armor. Here, I'm going to buy all of this shop. Do I want the... I guess I'll take the Gnome. That's a lot of extra damage. And we'll take Tyler. Then I'm going to reroll here. I'll take... no, I don't need a cake. Book. We do have a decent number of structures. So the engineering from Book could be okay. But again, I think we don't want to focus on things that don't just make the core of our character stronger. The structures are good for a little extra income, but it's not something that I'm going to build a lot of stats to support. The main... the other thing that we would build, of course, is improved tools, because we have, although we attack half as often as other characters, we have really high on-paper attack speed, and that's what improved tools cares about. So you double your construct attack speed by picking improved tools, and that's incredible. Mostly these structures are here to apply Scared Sausage burning damage, though, so the actual engineering stats of the constructs are not that important. And of course, the Tylers scale with elemental damage, which we have lots of anyways. So, still making pretty good income at this point. I'll take the banner here. Losing knockback is a real downside because we actually have a lot of structures, so we could use the banner for those. But the range is relevant on Javelin. Javelin is a ranged weapon, even though it scales with melee damage, so you still get full value from range. So, plus 20 range actually matters, and attack speed is still very good. Great, we really wanted bonus percent damage, so we'll take that. Take the Sunken Bell. I could buy the Dynamite here. We still only have Sunken Bell for explosion damage, so that's 56 on something that doesn't do that much. I think I'm going to pass on that. Cursed Fairy, of course, I'll grab, and Clockwork Wasp, very happy to see that, because we have a lot of structures, so structure attack speed is really good. Do one more reroll here, and Boxing Glove and Barricade we can pass on both of. Alright, here's the Elite, and again, we're going to manually target it down to try to kill it as quickly as possible. Assuming that I don't target the wrong place. Oh, I took that hit from the Walrus, blew everything up with the Sunken Bell, and then immediately healed back up with the full health heal from the Elite. Perfectly calculated, of course. That was definitely on purpose. I definitely need more armor. With only 47 HP, all the hits that we're taking are a pretty big percentage of our health. I'm still pretty happy that we bought the handcuffs. It's just so much damage, and it's keeping us much safer by killing these enemies much faster. But we do need defensive stats to survive now that we have such low max health. And I need to be able to heal back up almost immediately as soon as I take one of these 20 damage hits. Luckily, we have a Cursed Fairy locked in the shop, so we should be pretty good on that front as soon as we make it out of this wave. Lantern, great, 20% damage, 50 range we'll take. The knockback actually helps a lot, because getting overwhelmed by lots of enemies is the main challenge for this character. I'll take 3 armor here as well, and then we'll take a fairy. Triangle of Power, so this is going to give us 40% damage and 1 armor. We lose 4% damage every time we take a hit, but this is still a lot of bonus damage to start with, so Triangle of Power is still really good for this character. I'll take the Feather. That's 2 regen for our fairy and 3 dodge, and we could end up building dodge. So I don't care that much about losing the XP gain. So now we critically hit for 1,000, which is great. I do need to be a little cognizant of taking hits with the Triangle of Power, but Triangle of Power is really good for the one-armed, unless you buy Bloody Hand, as in my one-armed guide on this channel, where I just completely brain farted and did that. Triangle of Power is really good for this character because you really need to burst down elites and bosses before you get under pressure. So you're basically buying a reverse wisdom that gives you a lot of extra damage at the start of the wave and just makes your overall gameplay so much safer. I'd love to get upgraded Curse. A cursed weapon would be awesome. So all of these curse aliens that we're killing are super helpful. And then next wave, even better, because it's going to be wave 16, so we'll get a bunch of curse aliens spawning. Sure, we'll keep taking all of these turrets. I actually have a lot of turrets. I should consider taking engineering, but I think I still just need defensive stats. Though I'll take the 10 luck here as well. Cursed Celery Tea. So this is 64% enemy health. We already have XP gain, do we? We do not. We have -3. Obviously, so basically, the question is, can I kill enemies that are 50% stronger next wave? Enough that makes the double XP gain worth it next wave. The 9% XP gain at the end of each wave, starting at wave 16, just not that valuable. I think our damage is high enough that we can take the Celery Tea, because we're overkilling most enemies by a lot. That's another problem with the one-armed, is that after a certain point, damage just becomes irrelevant, because you're doing way more damage than enemies have health. But it does mean that even when we increase enemy health with Celery Tea, we can still kill those enemies, I believe. Take the Shady Potion here also, and hopefully we don't die and get a couple levels out of this Celery Tea. But the fact that we're critting for 900 damage means that we should be in good shape with this weapon here. Actually, did I take a hit off the start? Why am I only critting for 900? Last wave we were critting for way more than that. Did I take Triangle of Power damage? Or did I reduce my damage in some way? I must have reduced my damage in some way that I'm not remembering. Because last wave we had more than 1,000 damage criticals, and now we've only got 993. The cursed enemies are super dangerous, and of course the cursed aliens themselves have a lot of extra health, but because of the Celery Tea. So we definitely made less money that wave. I think the Celery Tea ended up not being worth it. We did get 1 level out of it, but I think we made like 100 less materials than we would have, so I think it probably ended up not being worth it. Kind of an interesting spot, though. Dynamite, I can buy now just because it's worth 2 regen, and similarly the Scar, I'm just spending 76 on 2 regeneration. Bone Dice will not have time to pay off, so we're not going to buy it. The Pearl is awesome here. That's 20% damage because we have 100 luck. So we'll take the Pearl. And I guess I'm going to lock all of these items because they're all pretty good for us. Go to wave 17 here. All right, let's see. Yeah, so now our critical hits are in the almost 1,200 range. But I increased my damage. Oh well, I'm sure the comments will solve the mystery for me. I don't mind leaving some materials on the ground wave to wave with this character, but we do need to make sure that I'm not leaving so many on the ground that I'm carrying them over between multiple waves, because that's when you start really losing money. Still haven't found a level 4 Javelin or another level 3 Javelin to upgrade to level 4, which would be even better. Or a Cursed Javelin, which would also be awesome. So we're definitely behind in terms of weapon levels. I should have manually targeted there on that loot alien. We could definitely have killed it. I just relied on my weapon, but that's a one-arm challenge, of course, is that you can't kill stuff just by being near it, because often you'll attack in a different direction entirely and just not hit it. Take the injection here, and then I'll take 20 more luck. I also have the Pearl, so luck is worth damage. bag for 54. It's worth 2 regen, and of course, we only need 2 crates. We're guaranteed to get 1 crate next wave, so the bag will pay for itself and is just 2 regeneration, so it's going to be good enough. Fishhook will probably not have time to pay for itself, so I think I'm just going to buy the ritual here, roll past the fishhook. We'll lock Cyberball and Cute Monkey for some healing and some additional damage, and go to the next wave. Again, just looking for where the elite spawns. There it is. Last place I checked, of course. But my damage is high enough that we were able to kill it very quickly. Leave the red crate on the ground so that if I get in trouble, I can run over there and get a full heal. What I like about the one-armed with the Javelin is we're basically an Olympian, right? We're just running around with doing the Javelin throw. One downside of the Javelin, of course, on Abyssal Terrors is that because it is technically a ranged weapon, again, even though it scales with melee damage, you still proc the extra projectiles from the pufferfish, so it's a little harder not to take damage from those. Fuel tank, that's 14 elemental damage at the cost of 2 melee damage, and we get 4 curse as well. I'll take that. Here, it costs me some regen, as well as some dodge, which we ended up not really building dodge, but the spider is still good for 24% damage. Take the ritual as well. Still not going to care about engineering here. I'm going to reroll this and see if we can get something better. And yeah, I'll take 2 armor. Take the medal. This, I still have positive crit chance, so we're still guaranteed a critical hit every 3rd attack. Then we're going to roll here. Adrenaline, it's too late for. We only have 2% dodge. Roll again. We'll take a baby elephant. Goat skull. Pumpkin's really nice, because this will give us plus 30% piercing damage. So that means that our Javelin pierces will no longer lose damage as they pierce, because usually they lose 25% per pierce, but with Pumpkin, we'll get plus 30%, and we'll get full damage on every attack. Poisonous Tonic, I'll take as well, and then because I've got the Poisonous Tonic, which gives us positive crit chance, I'll take the Goat Skull as well. I just don't want to dip below 0 crit chance, because you rely on those automatic critical hits. Also, Javelin has a high crit multiplier. Gets higher as you level it, and we've only got a level 3 weapon, but it does have a high crit multiplier, so buying crit chance, even though it's less efficient, because you get fewer critical hits from the crit chance, since you're guaranteed some crit chance, you do get more damage when you do critically hit, so it's worse than it is for most characters, but not as much worse as it looks like at first glance. Basically, you can think of it as buying a higher multiplier, but at half the rate. Or, in this case, 2/3 of the rate, because we only have a level 3 Javelin. Because 50% of the time with a level 4 Javelin, you're going to crit automatically, so you don't need crit chance for that. Whereas, with a level 2 Javelin, you only crit 1/3 of the time, so you get the damage you get to buy crit chance at 2/3 the normal rate. I'll take 15% attack speed here. I just want to kill the elites as fast as possible. And then we'll take Pumpkin, Poisonous Tonic, and Goat Skull and roll here. Weird Ghost we're going to pass on, but Small Fish I'll take. I'll roll again. I actually don't know if the percent damage against targets above 75% is doubled by the one-armed. It doesn't show up as a stat on the character sheet, so I don't think it is, but that's an interesting question. Maybe someone knows the answer. Improved tools, of course, that's the item we were looking for this entire run. Now, I could sell my Javelin and buy it, but actually I couldn't. I don't even have the money for that. But improved tools obviously would be awesome given all our projectiles. But it's too late. Let's roll here, and I think that the cursed helmet is going to be better for us than the baby elephant in terms of surviving the elites. I just need to make sure that I don't die while I'm DPSing them down as quickly as possible. Go to this next wave, and we'll just attack whichever one we see first. Manually target it and stay near it. And we killed that one. Taking a couple hits here, but we're just going to sit at sort of maximum range. I don't mind if I lose a little damage to Triangle of Power, because again, it let us kill the other elite much faster. And there we go. We have defeated the one-armed on Abyssal Terrors. That run was pretty fun. I wish we'd found a level 4 Javelin. Maybe I missed one at some point. But obviously, playing with a level 3 Javelin's a lot worse than a level 4. But overall, I think that we handled that run very well. Got good healing out of the Cute Monkey. Lots of damage from the Tylers. This early Tyler actually helped us a ton. Getting that early out of a crate, no less, meant that we made a lot of extra money because we had so much more wave clear from these Tylers, especially the first one. So great job, Tyler. Gold star for you. The Peaceful Bee, I was thinking maybe we would build Dodge. It still was good for economy, but we never ended up building Dodge. Obviously, the early Lucky Charm, even at the cost of 4 damage, was great as well. Pocket Factory was fine because we had the Scared Sausage. Scared Sausage dealt 31k damage, so really helped with wave clear also. Got 2 items out of the treasure map, so good return on treasure map. All of these cursed items, we ended up with a lot of curse on this character also, because we just had so many early curse alien kills, and we got to snowball. And of course, that paid off with Cursed Fairy, one of the best possible items you can find. So that ended up being super, super strong. And Coupon saved us 200 materials, so pretty good. The handcuffs worked out very well, of course, because that made our Scared Sausage much better, as well as giving us a lot of extra melee damage. Laser turrets dealt 18k, 32k from the baby elephants. The Silver Bullet went a long way. Frozen Heart was really good, given that we had 68 elemental damage. That's plus 6 base damage on all our weapons, or our one weapon. The Sunken Bell didn't work out, but it was a nice safety bubble, so I'm not regretting that. Celery Tea was awful as usual, we probably should not have bought that. And Bag worked out very well. The Pearl also worked out well, even though it didn't give us an extra, any extra pearls. Anything else? 11k off the Cyber Ball. So great run overall, and I'm feeling pretty happy with that one. Win streak is continuing, so let's see if we can close it out with the other difficult characters remaining. As always, my friends, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do so. It really does matter for YouTube because it just cares so much about whether people push buttons. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.